Hi there, I'm Scott with Rendall Certified Cleaning Services, and I have a little rant for you today. I'll call it Rendall Rant number 4. Today's rant is about viscose rugs in general. Viscose is actually made of wood pulp. It's also known as rayon. They call it art silk, like artificial silk. So if you look at the back of your tag and you think it's silk, make sure it doesn't say art before that or artificial. Because if it is, it's wood pulp, aka viscose. Now viscose has a lot of issues with it from the cleaning standpoint, also the wearability issue. You have, first of all, a wood pulp that's bound together with chemicals that hold it together. Second of all, because it's wood, when it gets wet, it has a tendency to brown out or yellow out in those certain areas. So let's say Fluffy comes in and does his business, even if it's a small little spot on your viscose. If it had done that on a synthetic or a wool rug, those we can clean and those spots would come right out and we wouldn't have to worry about browning, or they call it cellulosic browning, and that means the lignin and the sugars, if you will, that are inside the fibers are actually oxidizing when they turn wet. So the oxidation will make your carpet, your viscose fibers, when they get wet, they'll turn brownish or yellowish. That's a very difficult situation to correct. Another problem with them is they have a tendency to lay down because they're wood pulp. They don't have a good twist to them, and the retention on them has a tendency to lay down. A lot of the popular ones we see now are from India. They're really, really thick. They look like silk or even really thick wool. Generally, they're mostly one solid color. Maybe they have a couple stripes in them. But most of the time, they're very large rugs, and they're super heavy. They look high quality. You look at it and you go, man, that must be a super expensive rug. And then only to find out when you flip the tag over, it's viscose, or art silk, or rayon, or whatever they call it that particular time. And we recommend you run from those. Go with a nice wool. If you have to go synthetic, get a synthetic like nylon. Try to stay away from the polyesters. Definitely stay away from the rayons, which are considered a synthetic carpeting or rug anyways, because they've had to use so much chemistry to make these fibers. They've taken the wood pulp and turned it into a synthetic. So it's not even really a natural rug anymore. Now it's a synthetic rug. So just stay away from viscose. Yet another issue with them, especially those real thick ones, is they'll become askew when they're cleaned, or actually just laying out, because there's the fibers that run through the backing of it, the warp and the wefts, they're not crunched in very tight, and as you lose fibers, which is natural on any rug, then those fibers tend to move like this, and then they get damp from maybe a fluffy spot, or they're cleaned and they have to be tacked out when we clean them. So otherwise they become askew, and that's kind of a forever condition until they're tacked back out. We have to charge more for those. That takes us a lot more time to do a viscose rug. You're not going to get as long of a use out of it. A lot of the people that customers that we've had have already thrown theirs away from a couple of years ago because they were tired of dealing with the little brown spots and stuff that wouldn't come out. They won't come out until you get it professionally cleaned. And then sometimes they don't even come out for us. We can generally get them clean and get them nice looking again, but it takes a lot of work. So try to stay away from viscose, please.